going to present to you ways on what you can do if you have a boyfriend or a fiance who hits you. I know it's a very controversial issue, but believe it or not, of all these years that I became a lawyer, this is one of the most common things that women have come to me and consulted me about. What do they do when they have a boyfriend or a fiance who abuses them? I'm not talking about a husband because you have a domestic violence act for that to specifically address issues between spouses. But I am talking today about relationships at the initial stage before you get married. So I don't know why, but nowadays it seems that even though we are more and more exposed to this problem in the community, but girls, young girls, or sometimes women who are older than me or my age are very reluctant to lodge a police report if they have been physically abused. Now, the thing about this issue is that there is no one who is going to save you unless you save yourself. And it is usually the case that once a man hits you for the first time, and then he will try to apologize and say that, look darling, I'm sorry, I was just in anger and it was just a spur of the moment. But that is not true, because once they hit you, they are going to repeat that same thing over and over again. And sadly, that has happened to me. Yes, I, myself a lawyer, have had an abusive ex-boyfriend, and what I did at that moment was that I panicked because I do not practice criminal law. So I did not really know the steps that needed to be done to do a police report, or where do I go to get a proper medical assessment. Now, actually the first thing that you should do when you have been beaten up or you are being hurt physically is that you must record the photos of the injury that you have sustained. Okay, this is very, very important. And I would also recommend that if in the midst of the incident that you are being abused, you should always take up your phone and try and press the record button, because recording the act being done by the culprit is the best evidence that could save you in the future. Now, I know that as women, we tend to fall in love with a guy, and if we do really, really love that person, we will try to be very, very positive thinking in saying that this guy did a one-time mistake and it's not going to happen ever again. But trust me, that is such a wrong thing to think, because you are not loving yourself when you think about that. Okay, you are giving a chance to someone who has abused you to do the same thing to you over and over again. Now, what was the first step again? I said try to record the incident if it is being done to you. I mean, we all have our phones, right? And recording is just as easy as the click of a button. Secondly, after the incident, please straight away go to the nearest police station where the incident occurred. If it occurred in a housing area in Kajang, for instance, you should go straight to a police station that is situated in Kajang. Don't go to any other police station elsewhere, because that's going to jeopardize your case. Okay, the best jurisdiction for the police officer to take over the case is at the place where that incident happened. So after you lodge a police report, okay, the police will request that you go to the nearest hospital to get a medical assessment. They will need to look at the bruises on your body, any bloody injuries, okay, any trauma which you have suffered. So don't waste any time, because like what happened to me, for instance, I panicked and the incident that happened to me happened in Anstec. I drove all the way back to my house in Bandar Baru Bangi, and my mistake was that I lodged a report in Balai Polis Kajang first, and then I had to go to the hospital in Kajang to get a medical assessment. And I found out that the police said I should have lodged a police report nearby Anstec area, so I had to go there the next day. And the downside of that was that most of the bruises on my body was fading, it was already fading. And I had to also redo the examination, the medical assessment in Hospital Seremban. So it was actually a few wrong steps on my part, and like I said, it was because I did not practice criminal law. So I am also giving this advice to all my younger sisters out there. for all the women who are experiencing being abused by their boyfriends, by their fiancé, I just want to say that it is very, very wrong. You should never tolerate that kind of behavior from a guy. Most of these guys, if you do end up being married to them, they will repeat their abusive behavior even after they've become your husbands. And I'm telling you that once you are married, it's not easy to get a divorce, okay? That's like a whole other complications, which you do not want to go down that road, okay? So for offenses for causing hurt, you can flip through your penal code, okay? I have a copy here, Kanun Kesaksaan, this is in Malay. Flip through section 338. So, flip through the penal code and see what do these offenses can be punished with. And I am ending this video with a message that please be strong, defend yourself, don't let any guy hurt you either mentally or physically. And I really hope that this video will give a clear message to everyone that what you need to do when you get abused is, to be brave and to not be afraid to lodge a police report.